Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world, televiewers. This is Amba Dynamics with Lady Casey. Today, I have a special guest in the building, and we will be talking on diplomacy, recognition of Ambazonia, the interim government, and the legalities around all of these aspects. And I have with me Dr. Elad. Dr. Elad, please tell Ambazonians and fellow televiewers who you are.
So, good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Especially, let me pay my tribute to our brave men and women of Ground Zero. And I would like to just bow my head in a minute and give even a second or a minute of silence for those brave men and women who have sacrificed their life for this struggle. Oh, may their soul rest in peace. So thank you for having me today. And yeah, you already called my name and you asked me to say who am I. So I'm Dr. Elad, I'm the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs. And I'm going to say I'm a two-faced person. One is the person that does the Secretary of State work with the interim government. And the second is me, my personal self, who is Dr. Elad. And just to be so quick and easy, I am somebody, a no-nonsense somebody. There is time for diplomacy in my life, and there is time for hit and run. I'm a revolutionary. That is me in 60 seconds.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elad. Thank you for honoring our invitation, for coming on to the show today. You mentioned that you're the Secretary for Foreign Affairs. What do you mean?
Well, that is what some people call me, the #1 diplomat in the interim government of Ambazonia. So I do the diplomatic missions, seek for our recognition, and with the help of the diplomatic teams, which I want to send a very big salute to them, all the workers of the Department of Foreign Affairs, because these guys have been doing a great job. In fact, what we have done in this short time in this government is unbelievable. But as I always say, diplomacy is silence. There is no way a visa will make me bring all what we've been doing. But a lot of things have been seen. People have been hearing from themselves. They have been seeing actions coming from the US, Scandinavian, Europe, even in African countries. So let me use this opportunity to thank all the Ambazonians who have been very hard behind the diplomatic moves, especially those who in the Department of Foreign Affairs, the head of missions all over Africa, Europe, America, ECOWAS, UN. They are great guys. And also the Ambazonians who individually has taken that as a duty to push this struggle forward diplomatically. I want to say a very big thank you to all of them, because with their help, their courage, this struggle has gone a level that nobody ever believed would be there today. So diplomacy is one of the key to push the struggle forward and to bring us as fast as possible to Boya. And we are there and very serious on it.
Thank you very much.
And just to make it clear that that is the one side of me, and the other side is the real me, which is not the topic for today.
Thank you. You said diplomacy has, you've made progress in diplomacy and its silence, and we've been seeing statements from political figures and representatives of various countries in Europe, America, and a few in Africa. And how has this contributed to the revolution? How has this statement made by these various political figures across the world regarding our revolution, regarding our freedom quest, how much do you think has pushed forward the freedom quest of Ambazonia?
Well, I will put it to be 50-50. But let me be honest, that is more than that. But let's just be on that level, that scale at the moment. You've seen how many diplomats have been moving to and forth from, well, most of them arrive La République du Cameroon and they don't go to Ambazonia. But they have their people on the ground in Ambazonia who feed them with information. I would like to make you know very well that just this short period that we have been in the diplomatic moves, a lot have happened in La République and in Ambazonia. You can see that the tyrant Paul Biya cannot move freely again as before. You know, it has been since he left Geneva, he has not put his foot again in Europe. And that can tell for itself that that is not the Biya we know. History has proven that Biya makes 9 months out of 1 year out of Cameroon, La République. But this time he's been there, he cannot even go out. This is to show that he is in danger and he risks to be arrested wherever he goes. He risks to be arrested. He doesn't even travel among African countries. You've seen the port. The Central African Republic has stopped to use the Douala seaport. The Americans have stopped to do the military training with the La République militias. The German government has cut off the development aids. La République du Cameroun. The British House of Commons debated and proved straightforward that we were 2 separate countries. In the US, the top diplomat Nagy is now on the ground in Cameroon, which we have had a lot of diplomatic discussion with him. I won't go into details what we had with him. So many people have been asking and sending letters, thanks to them, to send it to him, but we have given him a lot of materials, and no matter what the La République government will do, it will not change what he already knows about the struggle.
All right, thank you, Dr. Elad. You mentioned Nagy in Cameroon, and you said you've given him a lot of materials, and a lot of people have been sending thank you letters to him. And how do you intend to follow up? Because we know his visit to Cameroon would meet the corrupt La Republique officials, and they are not going to give him the facts about the sufferings or the struggle of freedom by the Ambazonians. How do you intend to follow up on his return back to the States?
Well, the good thing is that everybody knows La Republique du Cameroon, that they are the biggest liars you can ever think in your life. Let me just make this clear. This is something that is recently the German senators who were in Cameroon in December came by, and they met with Atanganji Paul, who told them that there is no problem in Cameroon, that what is happening in the Anglophone region is just a small misunderstanding. Well, he makes himself so stupid in front of everybody, because those guys, before going down there, they have already gathered information. So they were going now with knowing the big problem that is happening there. And for meeting the so-called Minister of Territorial Administration, who will tell them this time, December 2018, to tell someone in this world that there is just a little misunderstanding in the Anglophone region, makes you look the most stupid person. So Mr. Nagy, who is going down there, already knows and have a lot. Let me be honest, that they have they have more information than you and me even have. They have their people down who feed them with up to date, minute by minute information. So he knows what is going to listen. La Republique has never have never told the truth. They always tell lies. You saw it in the north when they killed the lady. You saw it when the people were removed from prison. Some are already dead. Secretary Chris said it openly. Some lists, we saw the list. Some people were already dead. Some were not even existing. Some were even family members of some ministers who were written on the list. So, to be honest to you, nobody believed those people now. But due to the world order today, the diplomacy, the diplomatic moves, you can't just sit down and draw a conclusion. You have to go down there, see it for yourself. And they don't allow people. Just to make it short, when these people from Germany were down there, they were refused to go to Ambazonia, and they were told by the same Minister of Territorial Administration that it is very risky for them to go down there because it's dangerous. And then, the same time, he's telling them that that's just a little misunderstanding. There is nothing happening in the Anglophone region. You see how when you lie and you cannot put your lies consistently, you become a fool in front of people.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, you've mentioned a lot of diplomatic ventures that you have taken, you and your team, and the results, and you have analyzed the results that we are seeing so far. You know, and we understand that diplomacy in you mentioned the world order, today's world order is a very an uncertain and not so straightforward path. It's not a smooth path. There's no formulas printed anywhere on how to go about this, but there are some principles that can be used. How is your team, or you and your team, endeavoring to ensure that we get commitment, diplomatic commitment from those, for example, those that have made statements favoring our cause? How is your team ensuring to get some kind of commitment, even in social, economical, or even providing us with military training or arming us? Is there anything your team is doing in that direction?
Well, for the side that well, this is something that is being done. Everything, all the options are on the table. But we are holding those people according to what they say. So if you come out as a diplomat and you testify in front of the world cameras that we were two separate countries, and the 1961 plebiscite of the referendum or whatever they called was a fake. We target you on that spot. And that is how we work, because we work on proof. We work with the resolutions. We work with the UN mandate. We work with all what is, we always refer them to the United Nations for them to do their research and see. And we tell them, we also work with law. We quote them the Article 19, that is the right to listen and the right for information. So we are asking a lot of countries that you don't need to openly say you recognize us. Give us the chance to go and explain ourselves in front of the Fourth Committee of Decolonization. So that is where we get them. That is our right. That is the right of every human being, every citizen, every country. Let us explain ourselves. For countries to, through their government, or to apply to the UN, for them to give us the right to present our case in front of the Fourth Committee of Decolonization, doesn't mean they recognize us. They are just respecting Article 19 of the UNHCR. So that is how we get them. We tell them, keep to your words. But as you really rightly said, the world order today, there are certain things like Germany knows exactly what is happening. I live in Germany. I'm in Berlin, where I think you will be coming from the 11th to the 14th of April next month for the ASSC. So we are here and we meet the government, and we have gotten straight point direct from the German government telling us they won't be able to go against their agreement, their treaty and whatever they have signed with France. And I'm telling this now openly because this is what the government of Germany has told us, that France is the problem. If we can go through France, everything will be fine. So you can see that they have the intention, they have the heart to do something for us, but they have already this treaty that says Germany and France will not go against each other. So it has blocked them there. But I think some radical diplomats or senators are coming up that we can see the light at the end of the tunnel soon.
Wow, that's some very motivating information for Ambazonians to know that you're making such efforts. You also talk about the treaty between Germany and France, which has made Germany almost not really able to directly get involved in supporting us or get involved in our revolution in any way. How about the United Kingdom? Do you think, because the United Kingdom is more or less the engineer of this crisis, is more or less the engineer of the problems that we find ourselves in today, and they have made the most weak statement, in my view, regarding our revolution. America, even Italy, have made even stronger statement than the United Kingdom, who was a catalyst in the events that we find ourselves in today. So how have you tried to reach out to the politicians and diplomats in the United Kingdom to see that they come and proper give us our independence that was stolen from us?
Yeah, well, let me really thank Secretary Ambrose and the head of mission for the UK and Commonwealth, who are back there doing great job. As I said, a lot of moves have been done. The UK knows that they hold this problem in their hands. But now no matter the Brexit, I've said when I quoted Germany and France, doesn't mean only these two countries. No matter the Brexit issue that is going on now, the UK still remain in the EU. There are Europe, and they have this agreement. For those who really know diplomacy and the world order. Those who have read, especially Kissinger, what he wrote, Germany would have been today with Russia. That Germany decided to stay in Europe. Russia is Eurasia. That's how they call Russia. They decided to stay with the Western Europe. And that is how they accepted the treaty, the Vienna Treaty, of being together with the European Union. Then it was called the European Economic Community. Now it's the European Union. So they have this mandate put in front of them, and the treaty signed that Europe don't go against Europe. You can see it from the Brexit. But I have strong comrades who are in the UK who are pressing up, had, as I just said, Comrade Ambrose, the head of mission, Dr. Boa. They are there. They don't give these guys just a little breathing space. And I am telling you that it's just, I would say, unfortunately, we are in this type of jigsaw now with the Brexit issue, of which occupies the UK government so much. That is hindering our push into that area in the common world. You can see our guys just recently, they had to block the La République Mercedes until the so-called diplomat of La République had to get up and went home or wherever with an Uber. Notwithstanding not only the demonstration that the guys are doing over there in the UK, they are having a lot of background moves. That is not something we're going to talk and openly today on the worldwide screen. So just know that movements are behind pushing the UK, and they are seeing their guilt. They understand their guilt. Their own politicians with their people in their constituency are telling them the truth. And if they are honest in the shortest possible time, we will be getting some positive answer from the UK.
Thank you very much for that response. You know, we've talked extensively on diplomacy and the level of recognition we've had so far. And overall, how do you see, you know, the recognition of the state of Ambazonia and the recognition of the interim government and what the international law is saying about all of this?
Thank you for that question, because you bring my memory back. I read, I think, 2-3 days ago, something that some, you know, with these WhatsApp messages and whatever, somebody posted something written by Professor Kasi Anyangwe. And knowing who Professor Anyangwe is and being my professor, let me say that that is a man with respect and dignity. And I doubt if he wrote that thing. What was there is that it was written that our government in exile is not recognized, it's not functional, something like that, you know. Well, you know, today with all the WhatsApp messages and the social media, people can change things in order to implicate others. And I would not believe Professor Kasi Anyangwe will write such a thing. He's a big international lawyer. He's a professor who have taught people like us to be who we are today. So, but notwithstanding, yeah, something also came out about me last week. I don't want to say that people changed what I wrote. I wrote what was in that piece of something last week, so I did it. For this one, I'm talking on Professor Anyangwe. Yeah, talking about government in exile, which is known as GIE. It's a political group, right, which claims to be a country or a semi-sovereign state legitimate government, but is unable to exercise legal powers and instead reside in another state. So talking about recognition, this word recognize has a lot of connotation. To be a legitimate representative of their countries, this government has to be able to control people. It has to be able to represent the people outside. And it has to be recognized by the people, which this interim government has all those three kinds of criteria. So being a government in exile also states that we hope to go one day back to our country. And that is what we are fighting for. So in reality, international law does not really accept or refute government in exile. But as I just mentioned, these three criteria, if those government in exile maintain these criteria, it is not as recognized as that. And that is where we come in the difficulties in really having recognition from other countries. It doesn't mean that they don't recognize us. For example, I represent Ambazonia. When I go and meet foreign mission, I don't go there like an association. I go there as the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So that is all a quasi recognition already. Because if not, they will not receive me. We had a meeting recently with the senators here in Germany. That was on Thursday. And we were with them, and their boss openly said this is his first time of meeting a member of the government of Ambazonia. So there is a way of we being already recognized, but it is difficult for a country to come out and openly say, we recognize you people. It's hardly said, but their recognition, as I said, have a lot of connotation, is already being done. So it's for us now, the people of Ambazonia, to use it as in our own advantage and push it forward.
Thank you.
I don't know if that answer satisfies you in any way.
Yes, that to a large extent. Thank you very much. Fellow televiewers, you're watching Amba Dynamics with Lady Casey, and I'm here with Dr. Elad, the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs. And he's been giving us some of the efforts and ventures that have been on in diplomacy and in getting our nation recognized, and to even get commitment from these nations, various nations across Europe and America, who have been making statements regarding our quest for freedom. So we will continue. Dr. Elad, you mentioned the interim government and how you were received in Germany and as a Secretary of State for Federal Republic of Ambazonia. I'm just going to throw this question in there. What is your take on especially those Ambazonians who doesn't believe in the political leadership of the interim government in relation to diplomacy? What message would you have for them?
Well, one thing I would like to say, I'm one of those believers of the Pareto principles. This is, you have people who say this and say that, but there are few people who are doing the job, right? Today in the world, you have a lot of negativity. So just today, I was watching the news with some German people, and they were complaining that it's only negative things that comes from the TV. And in reality, something just struck me, and I said, but that is the thing that people want to know. You will not see a good thing coming out. You always see bad thing, war in Yemen, in Syria, In Ambazonia, they are even afraid to say it because they want to benefit a lot. Those who don't believe in this interim government, I've heard a lot that like this evening I also got someone telling me, oh, there were some people. I don't want to call names here because I don't like dignifying people. I believe if I call your name or you become known, they were talking, some of us, we have to resign and get off the interim government. Look, it's just that I'm a devoted, personally, I speak for myself now. I'm one of the devoted people in this revolution. And I'm in this revolution not for any benefit, because I don't see why I will not resign. I spend my money, I spend my time, I spend my health, I spend everything. I am in this revolution for going to 3 years now. I'm telling you today, and let the televiewers, everybody listen to me. I've not gotten a dime. Do you know what they call a dime? I've not gotten a dime from everywhere I go, right to India, Cambodia, wherever I travel, is from my own pocket. So if I resign, is it not good for me? I don't get any pride of being in this. I got one young man from Cameroon say, I'm in a prestigious position. I told him there's no prestigious position in this interim government, because all of us are trying to fight and save Mother Ambazonia. So for those who don't believe in this interim government, well, let me quote His Excellency Seseko Ayuktabe, which I hear some people say I said he's mentally or whatever. Those are all nonsense. He said, if there is a river flowing down and just as a sudden there is another branch or a stream that goes out of the main river, and they struggle to bring that stream back to the main river, and it doesn't work, instead of forcing it, we better let it go, because if you force it, it can condemn the whole river. I'm not saying we should let Ambazonia go, but people are so interested today in negativity than in positivity. They don't listen to positive things. You cannot tell me that this interim government is sitting here and have not done anything positive for 1 good year, but all the negative things they can do. I read Dr. Makongo's praise to Chris Arnold today, Secretary Chris. I said, okay, that means at least there are some people who see. So those who don't believe in this interim government, this is not a government that we are not in La République du Cameroun where we are going to be members of the government. I always say this because I'm prepared to give my position out, or many others also in the interim government today. Right now, if somebody is more competent, please come and take it. I will not leave this revolution. I will still sit behind. I will still work. In fact, I will do more than what I'm doing today. Because there's a lot of things I could do in this revolution, but this so-called Secretary of State thing is trying to press me down. You want to do, oh, you are a Secretary of State, you don't need to. So I would tell them to believe in the government, because this government is filling all their fingers in order to push this revolution forward. And I hear we are hand clappers of Dr. Sako, our AP. I will really wish to ask the AP to invite people when we have the cabinet meeting. Let people see the fire that this man is getting from the cabinet. Maybe they think we just go there and clap hand and he comes and say whatever he wants to say and we agree. No. I used to pity this guy, but well, God has made him, and I will openly say it here now and in front of everybody that I cannot hold that position. Because if I am in that position, this war would have turned like this. Instead, I would have been shooting by the Ambazonians. So let's keep that for now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elad. Thank you for that insight into your perspective into various aspects or various happenings around the revolution and the reactions and attitude of some Ambazonians towards the interim government. The interim government and the AVP announced a conference in Germany, which you mentioned at the beginning of this show. You talk about the ASSC, the Ambazonian Stakeholder Strategic Conference, which will be in Berlin next month. Are you part of the organizing team? Do you have detailed information for Ambazonians, those in Europe, those who are able to attend? What information do you have to give them regarding the objective of this conference and what they aim to achieve?
Well, the aim of the conference is to bring all Ambazonians together. That is the main aim of the syncretizing, means bringing everybody, whoever you are as an Ambazonian, together to find the way forward. And yes, I'm part of the organizer. As I saw, the AVP was interviewed by somebody and put it there and was trying to threaten and say all type of rubbish. This is Germany. We are here with the organizing committee of Germany and worldwide. We're doing our best to receive all the Ambazonians in Berlin next month. Everything is being put in place. As I said, I was just coming from our German Berlin section meeting, and that was the discussion we had there. The people are serious here. Everything is in order. The accommodations, the halls are already prepared for the peace, harmony, and coming together meeting that is going to be in Berlin. The aim of this meeting, as I've said from the beginning, is to bring all Ambazonians to sit on the table and produce a way forward for our quick way to Boya. I've already heard also my voice message that I'm saying the same thing that I'm saying now like this. I don't know how that has to do with the overthrow of Seseko Ayutabe. I said Berlin is going to be the projector of this, that is reprojector of this revolution, which is true, because this is where we want to forget about our differences, sit on the table, talk, and decide here. Don't forget, this is where the Berlin conference took place. Africa was partitioned. So we are coming as Ambazonia, not to partition Ambazonia, but to mend Ambazonia and bring Ambazonia as one and reboot from here to move forward. So yeah, in fact, the ladies and gentlemen of Germany are doing a great job. They are having sleeplessness. I'm talking to you, there are people having Zoom meetings on organization committees and putting everything in order. And we hope to see you and your ABC TV and everybody, all the Ambazonians. You guys are welcome. Those who, let me take this as an advantage to tell the Ambazonians, if you need accommodation, you need a hotel, a hostel, wherever, whatever you need, please let us know. Today is the, 17? So we have less than 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks to go. Let's come together and let's make this Berlin conference the way forward for Ambazonians.
Thank you very much. Ambazonians are quite an intelligent set of people and very critical set of people. If everything is not so clear to them, they ask many, many questions. And some Ambazonians have been asking that the boys which you honored at the beginning of these shows, which was quite an amazing gesture from a Secretary of State. I was very, very impressed with that. You honored the boys, and there is some people are saying, how is this conference going to reflect on ground zero, on the boys? How is it going to reflect? You know what I mean by that, I hope. How are they going to this for example, in their equipment and materials that they need for their various activities?
Well, that's what we are gathering here in Berlin to make sure that to assure our boys in ground zero that we are not just here making noise, but we can come together and do things of great memory. Because why I'm saying this is because this is where we have to coordinate. Anything that disassociates, everything that is not coordinated is doomed to fail. That is the fact. So if we cannot sit down, whether it's AGC, whether it's COPE, whether it's SCYL, or call yourself what, if we cannot sit down and coordinate the activities, just take for example, if you sit where you are now and send some changes for sugarcane, and I don't coordinate it with you, and I sit here and also send mine there to the same group. The other groups are there, they don't receive anything. They won't know. So if we sit down and make it in a coordinated way, I think we're going to succeed, and we're going to move fast. We're going to fast forward this revolution. I know a lot of people are saying, why is it that the interim government is calling people to come to Berlin, and there are other ones that the interim government do not endorse? Let's be honest. If we say we have a government, we should respect that government. Because some group of people cannot just sit down and decide on behalf of the Ambazonian people without passing through the government. And this is where the government is taking the step to organize this conference in Berlin. And you said Ambazonian people are very intelligent, and this is what, from the time of Seseko till today, I always say that we Ambazonians, we overget sense, and that sense the Kiwi. Because sense, Ambazonia, the too much get sense. And everybody, once him in our own sense, he realized the thing where he talk. Without coordination, we fit take all sense the way they for this world, join them together. It will be in a population explosion. If you know this thing in geography, what they call population explosion. So we will explode, and it will not help us. So if we can take this our senses and bring it together, coordinate the issues. This projection of power, everybody wants to be the top. This one wants to be the one who said it. I'm the one. I remember when we were in Zaria, Professor Anyangwe said the downfall is in this revolution is because everybody wants to be the first. Now me, I do this one. And Dr. Elad, we put this thing for here. And Dr. Elad did this. Now Dr. Elad do that time you make yourself like Kuba. Those things doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. You can coordinate. Me, in my department, those who are following up the diplomatic moves, whether you are in the DFA or not, so far it comes to my table. If I'm going out to say something, if I'm giving my report to the cabinet or to the AP or to the AVP, I mention your name who carried out that diplomatic move. I don't say I'm the one who did it. That's not me. I don't take credit of other people. I am the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs. So any diplomatic move, whoever, any Ambazonia you do, you're doing it under my command. And it helps better Ambazonia, not me. So the thing is, we should coordinate our senses, our knowledge, our wisdom, our intelligence. And when we do that, I bet you we'll be climbing Moliko Hill to the headquarters very soon.
Thank you very much. You've talked a lot about the need for coordination in our activities from bottom to top and top to bottom. And I would we're looking forward to the conference and how it will foster our revolution and our freedom quest. Thank you so much, Dr. Elad, for honoring this invitation. Fellow televiewers, you are watching Amba Dynamics with Lady Casey, and it's really been an awesome time. You know, I am just going to throw this one last thing in. You talked a lot about the aspect of you as a Secretary of State of Foreign Affairs, the interim government, and you also said you mentioned the other side of you. I'm sure the viewers want to know what you mean by the other side of you.
Yeah, the other side of me means no matter the doctorate degree that I'm having, the title of a doctor or the Secretary of State, we are in a revolution and we are at war. And it doesn't give anybody to break us down. And that is me. And I said it. I believe in do me, I do you. And that's what we are doing now with La République. La République, let me put it the way we used to say when we were in Sase. La République have dooed us, and we will do them too now. And that is the same thing goes to anybody. I am somebody you will never, ever see me in life start the problem. But if you start me, I don't stop it. That is the bad side of me. I don't stop it. So the good thing is I'm a good side if everything goes good. But when it goes wrong, it is not. Because a lot of people use that title, oh, Dr. LS, this man, is he a really doctor? Yes, I am. But that does not make me. I'm a doctor born in Mutengene, Cham Republic. And I still believe in that, my position. You do me, I do you. That is me. If it comes to diplomacy, I take it. I go to the diplomats, we do diplomacy. If it comes to war, I'm prepared for that. So it doesn't change me a moment. And I hear people say, oh, he's abusing that, he's abusing that. Well, if you abuse me, it depends the degree of abuse. But when it goes to sexing up my credibility, you're gone. That's me. So that is the other side of me. I just said there are two sides of the Dr. Elad. The diplomatic one and the real him.
Thank you so much. Fellow viewers, I'm sure you now know who is in charge of the diplomatic missions in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia through the interim government. So we would end the show here. I am so glad to have you on the show today. Dr. Elad, thank you for honoring our invitation once more. Thank you, fellow viewers, for watching and joining us. You know now who to send all your questions and suggestions about diplomacy and in the revolution, about diplomacy for our freedom quest. You know who to send your suggestions in particular. If you have any great suggestion, you can always forward it to Dr. Elad or to me, and I will get it to him. Thank you, Ambazonia. Thank you for joining us. Take care and stay tuned on ABC Amba TV. Goodbye.
Thank you, Lady Casey. And that was a very brilliant interview with you. And I hope we have another session sometime to come.
Oh, yes, for sure. Hope we will definitely have you again as we forge ahead in this revolution.
Please let everyone Berlin. Every Ambazonia is welcome from the 11th. You can come before the 11th. You're welcome. We're prepared. We're ready to receive everyone. But it's from the 11th to the 14th of April, ASSC, Ambazonia Strategic Stakeholder Conference. Thank you so much, Lady Casey.
Thank you. Hope to see some Ambazonians in Berlin. Take care and goodbye.